also think people have got a chip on their shoulder, a jealousy chip. You know, let's be clear about that. Simcast got a love song. I made her a love song. Yeah, I made Simcast a love song. It's a bit fun, a bit tongue in cheek. Made her a love song. 1 million abuse went towards Simcast. She's now getting atted in all the things. I think there's a Bam Bam level of it. I think one of them might be Cassius from Bam Bam's level. And like what everyone has to do. And Andrasta Wolf, if you're still here and listening to this, I would encourage you to do this. I'd look to your left, and look to your right. Which one's my left and which one's my right? I'd look to either side, and I'd look at the other people that are around in the group that are being negative about me, and say, do you agree with genetic code? Do you think she's a good person? You know, do you agree with that old Bam Bam crew? Do you think they're good people? Is Eddie a lovely man?
Right, I'm going to talk about baby Reindeer and all the contra over that near the end of the stream, or at least I plan to. I don't know how it's going to go, but you know, when Bam when she left YouTube, when she was no longer on it anymore, I really hoped that this would stop any back and forth, any disputes. And in actual fact, since she's been gone, it's just become even more drama. You know, there's even more drama than when she was here. And by the way, that was a clip from one of Scott's most recent streams on Twitch. Now, he's a regular on Twitch, and I'm promoting this. Hope he doesn't mind I'm using this. You know, he mentions me in it, and that's why I put that at the beginning, and just showing you an example. And people have picked up on some of the things he said on this particular stream. But, you know, I just thought that when Bam left, you know, it would begin the healing process, and it's just more drama and more back and forth and more competition and egos. And I was really hoping that when she left the scene that it wouldn't be like that anymore. And that's, you know, I didn't, but I have to admit, at first I was feeling very protective of Scott. I don't like anyone saying anything bad about him. And look, he's done a video about me many months ago, and it was the first video that he did about me where he picked at me and he picked at my clothes, picked at this, picked at that, picked at my thumbnails. But I actually thought that parts of the video were quite funny. And even though there are things that he said that I didn't like at all, and I said, I don't want you doing any more videos about me, I actually found some parts of it quite funny. So I actually hope that he keeps that video up, and I actually don't mind it being up there. I actually clicked that video and I used it as part of my trailer, my channel trailer. The Nicola B stuff that he does, I don't really watch. I watch his, you know, his AD content more, his Eddie content more. So I don't know much about, but I've been tagged in clips of him saying certain things about Nicola B, and I do not agree with what he says in those clips. You know, I think he probably should even apologize. But I am very protective of Scott, and I don't like people saying bad stuff about him. And maybe my loyalty to him is misguided, or was misguided for a short time. He's a performer and he goes too far at times. You know, there's a fine line between good and not good. And we all have good and bad in us. And, you know, I hear people using the word narcissist to describe Scott. He's egotistical. There's no question about it. But I would say about 70% of YouTube creators or social media creators have narcissistic traits, including myself. Narcissism is no longer a unique trait. Social media is a breeding ground for narcissists. It's look at me, look at what I've had for lunch, look at the salad I made, look at the soup I made, look at where I'm going on holiday, look at the clothes I'm wearing, look at the car I'm driving, look at my brand new remodeled kitchen, look at my fridge organization, look at my pantry, look at my dress, look at my body, look at my figure. I mean, social media is full of egotistical people. And if you get a bit of attention, your ego is going to grow. So people saying that about him, like I said, egotism, narcissism is not a unique trait to Scott. So yes, I agree that he has an ego, but I don't think he's anywhere near as pernicious as Bam was, and who was just a very, very unpleasant person at the end. And I'm not trying to defend everything that Scott has said and done. There are things that he said and done that I don't agree with at all. But, I understand that a lot of things that he does is tongue-in-cheek. It goes a bit too far. And yes, he does display some very egotistical traits at times. I love him. I don't want anyone saying anything bad about him. And maybe my loyalty to him was a bit misguided for a while. Let me just try and think of what I'm going to say next here. Unfortunately, I haven't gotten to talk about this baby reindeer, this show on Netflix yet, which I want to talk about. I want to touch on. Many of you will have now known that what happened to a certain person today, a certain Salou person, a person who was following and watching and going after people who went to Salou. One of Bam's old friends. And I will have to say that my deepest regret, if there are any, my deepest regret of becoming friends with Bam is meeting and associating with her. After Bam turned on me, it's been relentless in terms of the way she's targeted and gone after me, even long after I'd stopped speaking about her. And I won't mention their name. But Helen got the worst of it, and she'll pop up again. She's the real, I'm going to say, she's the real baby reindeer. She's baby reindeer times 12. And instead of going after men, she goes after women. And I don't even begin to fathom why she has any fixation with Helen or me. I was very nice to Sheila. We got on very well initially. And it took me a while to figure out that she had some serious issues with people. And she's an injustice collector. And she fixates and she fixates and she fixates and she becomes obsessive. What I regret about becoming friends with Bam is meeting her, because since Bam turned on me, she's gone after me ever since. And I hope she would have cooled it down after she found out what Bam was doing behind her back, but it never did. And she's just been, I don't even know how to describe her. This is a very, very, I think Bam was a nice person in comparison to her, and I'll leave it at that for now. And you know what I think about Bam? Very unpleasant person as time went on. She got more unpleasant. So I'm just trying to be nice here. And it's also equally unfortunate that the people from that side have never said to her, maybe this is wrong. Maybe you shouldn't be saying this or doing this. Maybe you shouldn't be going after people like this, but they just join in. And that's one of the reasons why I did leave Bam's channel and why I never wanted to associate with them after I realized what they were really about. Anyway, some of the YouTube drama, it's gotten to the point where, yes, it causes me anxiety. But also, there's just times when I'm just laughing my head off at some of the comments. What happened to JC's video? This is just like, JC's video on Scott got 1.1k views, right? Now, sometimes this happens to me, and also sometimes I'll make a video that gets to 1.2k views. It takes several months for some of my videos to marinate. Like there's a video that I made on somebody beginning with J, And initially it got like 300 views, and now that video has 1.2k views, but it took a few months to get there. And sometimes I'll get to 1,000k views or 1k views, and I'll lose views, I'll drop views, and then it makes up again. The video makes it up again, you know. I'll regain those views. But the weird thing about the video that JC made on Scott is that it got to 1.1k views, and it was there for a while, and then suddenly it lost hundreds of views. It dropped hundreds of views. I don't understand that. That was just really strange, because even Scott was saying on his Twitch stream, you know, about the views, you know, the number of views that it had over, 1k views. And then all of a sudden it went to 800 views. It's like, what happened there? That there's a mystery. That was baffling to me when I saw that happened. Anyway, some comments under that video are hilariously funny, and I'm just going to read out one of the comments. Sometimes you got to see the humor in things. So, in reference to Scott, by watching the whack Jays, his defense to all who expose and detract him: you are all jealous of me. You are all anti-vaxxers, flat earthers. The flat earther thing makes me laugh so much. Flat earthers. Oh, and apparently this person claims that Scott is claiming that he's winning and he's a hugely talented black gangster rapper. I nearly fell off my chair laughing at the gangster rapper. Well, first of all, as far as I can see, Scott is white, so I don't think he's ever pretended that he wasn't white. He's actually a very good rapper, actually, but I don't think he's ever claimed to be African American. You know, my dad is black, my uncles are black. I've dated black guys, so Scott is definitely not black. But I just found that so funny. Oh God, the stuff that people say, you know, the fun and the humor that you can make out of all this drama is just is unbelievable. That some of the stuff that I see people writing and saying. Anyway, let's get to this baby reindeer stuff, because I won't get to it if I had to keep talking about this. So I was not aware of this show on Netflix. I wasn't interested in it. And I recently became aware of it because it's all over the news, all over the media. And it's about this Netflix show called Baby Reindeer, and a woman who begins to become a little bit too attached and too fixated on this man she meets at a bar. Now, I watched this interview with the real Baby Reindeer, the woman who the character in the series is based on. And it appears to me that the Netflix documentary drama is almost complete fiction. And I'm not saying that the woman in the real life Baby Reindeer, I'm not saying she's a perfect human being. I certainly am not a perfect human being. I'm just saying that I'm unsure whether all the things that are depicted in that Netflix drama are authentic. They found out who this woman was very quickly. They found out her identity. She obviously isn't hiding. She did this interview with Piers Morgan. People are talking about it. And there are certain things depicted in the documentary or the drama, the series, that they claim to have happened. Netflix are claiming this is a true story. But I question whether this is not a embellishment. I believe that this is an embellished story from somebody who was a struggling comedian, struggling actor, struggling to get their career started, who met somebody who probably had a few quirks, but they embellished a story. And until I see proof of all the things that Netflix have portrayed that happened in real life, that's how I feel about it. And I think I'm just going to leave it there today, to be honest with you.